onto the pitch, the club captain this year, the man who played alongside Gary Longwell in the Irish under-21 some 10 years ago. So no changes in either side, it would appear, from our position up here in the West Stand. Constitution, some 7 points adrift, take the field. And Ultan O'Callaghan down below us, I've got to say now, is actually getting on the old body armour, and he's putting on his replacement jersey number 21. So this formidable skipper may be coming on. Well, several formidable skippers there. They look as if they're enjoying themselves, Dungannon. Paddy Johns laying down the law. I spoke to him 20 minutes before the game, and he said, we are here to enjoy themselves. They'll enjoy it if they can maintain, Morris, this 7 point gap all the way through until the final whistle, but I don't know if that's going to be the case.
I think he'll enjoy it even more if he starts adding to the 7 point gap. And as you say, there's Ultan, who's now starting to warm up and down the touchline. I think what was interesting there, when Dungannon did come out, that Johnny's running, seems to be running quite freely, so I think he's got no adverse effects from the knock that he took in his leg.
Well, a little word from Willie Anderson to Alan Lewis. They've known each other pretty well down the years. There's big Keith Walker, one of the Dungannon subs, and this is David Humphreys, who's got 11 of Dungannon's 16 points so far to start the second half. A loud blast of the whistle from Alain Rowland. Humphreys puts it down the middle, well taken by Mick O'Driscoll, who's off to Romania with the Ireland squad. Here's Brian Walsh, enterprising stuff at the outset from Constitution, and that's a penalty for not releasing in the tackle, and this will give David Humphreys an early chance for points, and that may just settle any little half-time nerves Dungannon might have picked up.
Yeah, maybe, Jim, but I think what you see there was Brian Walsh actually did notice that Tyrone Howe was the man that actually chased the kick-off. Now, why do you have a left winger tackling a second row and leaving yourself empty on this wing? And Brian Walsh seen that, and unfortunately just held on.
Well, that's experience for you on the part of Brian Walsh, but the fact that he held on to the ball in the tackle has allowed David Humphreys this chance to increase Dungannon's lead at this very crucial part of the game. We've just had a minute of the second half gone. Ultan O'Callaghan, this massive Constitution skipper, is still warming up, but it's all eyes on Humphreys. That's lovely. Deary me, that is an absolute cracker. So it's now Constitution 9 and Dungannon 19. We've had a minute and 15 seconds of the second half played, and the gap is back to 10 points, and Dungannon will be pleased with that.
Oh, totally. I mean, that's what they were looking for. Get into their half, get the points, get back out. And that puts even more pressure on Cork Con to play catch-up rugby, and in doing so, they're going to force mistakes.
David Humphreys up to 225 points for this league competition. Again, Constitution come off better with the restart kick. It was Ian Murray, the prop, who worked it back. O'Mara, Mahoney, O'Donovan, Kelly came back inside. Johnny Bell with a good tackle, well released. Brian Walsh looking for a little bit of space, saw that Jan Cunningham had come infield. Nasty awkward bounce, down goes Paddy Johns, got it away. Stephen Bell from outside his 22, that hasn't found touch. Walsh is underneath it yet again. This is O'Mara, changed his mind. Good tackle by Bell, he's got a bang in the head. Derek Dillon, well, what he's doing there, he's normally a right wing three-quarter. This is Walsh injecting a bit of pace. Good tackle by Brady, still there for Constitution, and they get the penalty. O'Mara takes it quickly. Wonderful tackle by Jan Cunningham. Now we're Dungannon back to 10 metres. Play on, says the referee. Frankie Sheehan to the Dungannon 22. Better stuff by Constitution, forcing perhaps another penalty if they can manage it. And Dungannon somehow have turned that one over. And David Humphreys gives it a real thump. And Dungannon a wee bit fortunate, but they'll take everything that goes.
Well, indeed, I think what we've seen was Justin Fitzpatrick got in well there to steal the turnover. But I mean, Cork Con are devoid of ideas on how to tackle play in Route 1 rugby, and the only guy that is threatening is Brian Walsh, but it's all coming off broken play. There's no structure in getting Brian Walsh coming in and attacking different angles.
Well, David Humphreys has taken Dungannon back into the Constitution half, but it's a Constitution throw. We've had just over 3 minutes of the second half played. 19-9 to Dungannon. Good challenging by Kearney, little bit of holding there. Fitzpatrick, play on, says the referee. Came off a Constitution player. Bell, McWhirter standing off, not much room. This is Brady, gets inside Taylor. Hazlett supports. Bell again, now Humphreys. Johnny Bell has cut right through. Oh, he's just been caught by the jersey. Constable was on his elbow, and that's a penalty. Holding onto the ball in the tackle. And it's so nearly working for Dungannon. Johnny Bell up a little bit gingerly, limping back, and it doesn't seem too bad.
I think, Jimmy, here's a beautiful late switch. Johnny takes the angle. I think what they are missing is they actually need somebody to come in. Ryan Constable looking for the pass, but we need somebody there on Johnny Bell's shoulder, and being caught deliberately for holding on.
Well, they kicked the touch.
Move away!
Didn't work. Bryn Cunningham was caught. Bell, now Humphreys. Sets off McWhirter on a nice angle. This is Hazlitt, lovely offload. Here's Humphreys. Johnny Bell, lovely switch back inside to Ali Boyd. Bit of hesitation, but it's still there. Stephen Bell changes his mind. Brady, Tony McWhirter. Great continuity from Dungannon. Bell again. Paddy Johns on the outside half position. Laid off by the big skipper. Now Humphreys. Drop it, goal. Will the hand go up? Oh yes! Humphreys is doing everything right this afternoon, and that's the best piece of Dungannon play we've seen all game.
That was brilliant. What happened was, you seen Hump taking the ball there. He just dropped the shoulder, feinted to go inside, and then get a beautiful wee flat pass to Tony McWhirter coming through. And then we were actually very lucky that Hump appeared in that position again, or else we had Paddy taking the drop goal.
Well, David Humphreys, right between the posts with that drop goal, extends the Dungannon lead. We've had just over 5 minutes played. It's Cork Constitution 9 and Dungannon now 22. David Humphreys with 17 of his side's points in this final. Dungannon get that at about the third attempt, and this time they've made it secure.
We take a scrum edge, he's line. It's not
Slight knock forward by a Constitution forward coming up, and Constitution seem to be preparing to be making a number of replacements.
All right, guys, first scrum,
Nick Keneally, the wing three-quarter, is down underneath us, and indeed is the club skipper, Ultan O'Callaghan.
Okay, let's
Good strike by Brady, probably the most improved player on the Dungannon side this year. Away comes Ali Boyd.
Hands off!
Stephen Bell, Gary Leslie makes good ground. Stephen Bell, wee bit of a fumble. Play on, says the referee. Humphreys, Constable, Bryn Cunningham. Constable stretches. Away goes the Aussie. Wonderful covering tackle by Brian O'Mara. Brian Walsh was there too. Michael Hazlitt to tidy. Exuberant stuff from the County Tyrone side. Walsh, play on, says the referee. Jan Cunningham needs a wee bit of help. Now he gets it. Bell, Tyrone Howe. There's that chip and chase that brought a try in the league game. And across comes Derek Dillon. Tyrone Howe nails him. That could well be the 5-metre scrummage.
Well, it's good to see Alan there was playing advantage, and they've got it out from the 5-metre scrum. I think what you have Dungannon having come on from a wee bit more depth, they probably would have found a bit more holes. It was slightly too flat there, and ultimately it was good defence again by Brian Walsh. He seems to be the only guy in Cork Con is actually trying to do things in attack and defence at the present moment.
Well, Ryan Constable, that wonderful acceleration down the line. He cut back inside and ran into the twin tackles of Walsh and O'Mara, but Michael Hazlitt was there very quickly, and that was significant. A great job by the young open side flanker Stephen Bell, half impeded. Jan Cunningham it was who took it on, got past the tackle of Frankie Sheehan, and David Humphreys got himself into absolutely the right position, and then it was Tyrone Howe who tried that little chip and chase.
Interesting seeing there that the referee and linesman having a wee chat about a possible wee bit of foul play that we're not too sure about.
Well, Alan Lewis is on the near side, and I think it's just a little whisper in the air, and that's very good officiating. So a 5-metre scrum then, and it's going to be to Dungannon.
I think they're going to have to wait for Gary Leslie, who's coming up from the halfway line at the present minute.
Well, Gary just coming trundling up. What a great servant he's been. Former Queen's University.
Wait there, wait there.
On the Ulster squad for many, many years. Crucial scrummage this. Constitution will want to put the pressure on. McWhirter controls beautifully. O'Mara's come round offside. That's given it to Johnny Bell. The pirouette and drive. Hazlitt's there quickly. Now Bell, Paddy Johns, the captain. Good Constitution defence. Bell once again. Humphreys had to stretch. He's had a little pop himself. Humphreys finds the angle. McWhirter out wide. Tries to get it back inside. Holds it up. Johnny Bell has done it. Wonderful distribution by Tony McWhirter. Read it perfectly. The delay was absolutely spot on, and Johnny Bell is ecstatic. His third try in the league, and what a time to do it.
Absolutely amazing play by Tony McWhirter there. He just knew what he had to do. They kept going infield, and again it's change of direction coming down that blind side. and Tony McGuire takes the tackle and holds the ball up perfectly. And Johnny, very, very good support work by Johnny Bell.
12 and.
Well, he has had a great season, Johnny Bell, and has been rewarded by being named on the 24-man Irish squad to go to Romania. And who knows, he may well add to those 33 Irish international caps he's already picked up. Constitution are going to bring on a couple of replacements. Ronan O'Gara, I think, is going to go off. And Cian Mahoney, who's the brother of Conor, is going to come on. And the skipper, Ultan O'Callaghan, is coming on. But in the moment, it's David Humphreys, who has got 17 points so far in this final. Right between the posts. 19 points for David Humphreys, 29 points for Dungannon, 9 points for Constitution. Still half an hour to go, a couple of quick scores, but Dungannon, you've got to say, to use the Formula 1 parlance, must be in pole position. And there's that wonderful, wonderful delayed pass by Tony McWhirter, which puts Johnny Bell in for his third try, and Dungannon's second of this final.
It was a tremendous piece of skill by Tony there. And again, just another sweet conversion from Humph. Again, Dungannon still having problems with these restarts.
Well, Constitution have regained possession and have made ground. Frank Sheehan, busy as ever, nicely laid back. This is Cian Mahoney, taken by Constable. Conor Mahoney, John Kelly, Derek Dillon coming in from the wing. O'Gara, who's been the pick of the Constitution players. Walsh, who's been busy, runs in to Tony McWhirter. Well released by Constitution. This is Ultan O'Callaghan, such a big, strong man. That's a penalty against him, however. First time he gets the ball, he gets tackled, holds on, gives away the penalty. Well, O'Callaghan has had a very, very badly broken hand, which has kept him out of the last 4 or 5 league games, crucially the semi-final. And he's come on. He's not the quickest thing on 2 feet, so obviously the tactics from Constitution will be to try to grind out a victory. But how can you grind out a victory, Morris, when you're 20 points adrift?
I think that's just a wee bit of over-exuberance by Ultan. You know, he's a bull of a man. He's an absolutely huge, huge man, and they're obviously just going to play this Route 1 rugby, just pick and drive, pick and drive, pick and drive. And Dungannon, for their sake, I hope they just don't sit back and let him come on to him. If they go and meet him, put him on his backside, then they'll probably win.
Nigel Brady into a shortened line out. Aidan Kearney goes up. Well, that was a complete nonsense. Well away by Stephen Bell. Humphreys, Ryan Constable, Michael Hazlett. Alistair Boyd was in support. Stephen Bell has got it away quickly all afternoon. Bryn Cunningham. Justin Fitzpatrick was there to help. Bell again. That's nicely done. Johnny Bell. Oh, he nearly got away with that. Advantage being played. Dennis O'Dowd in off the left wing to secure it for Constitution. This is O'Gara. Conor Mahoney.
No advantage, knock on.
Knocked forward by Johnny Bell. Constitution unable to gain an advantage from that. And Gary Leslie put in a thumping tackle right in the midriff section, if not indeed the lower back, on the Constitution outside half, Conor Mahoney, and they can't afford to lose him.
I think Jim, that's the last man I don't think they've any cover there after this. I mean, we were speaking to Ralph Keyes earlier. I'm sure he's worried now if somewhere in the stand he may have to come back onto the pitch.
Well, they've made another change. Constitution in the back division. Nick Keneally has come on, and off has gone Derek Dillon. So Keneally will go onto the left wing. Dennis O'Dowd will switch to the right, it looks like. But that really has used up, apart from the scrum half, Alan O'Sullivan, all their options behind the scrummage.
I mean, they've used all the resources. I mean, I don't actually know where they're going to go now and what type of game they're going to try and play. By making these changes, they still have to get primary possession, which is one thing they're not using.
So a scrummage to Constitution, who find themselves 20 points adrift with just over 13 minutes of the second half played at Lansdowne Road in this 2001 AIB League final. O'Callaghan drives, that's what he's best at. Gets past the first tackle, well done by Boyd. Penalty against Dungannon. 1 or 2 injudicious feet going in there. Away goes O'Gara. This is Taylor, who's had a very quiet game this afternoon. This is Cian Mahoney, another Ireland A international. Takes play to halfway. Constitution now putting themselves about a little bit. This is Brian O'Mara, this is Taylor the runner, and he's got past the first tackle. Paddy Johns gets to him, Olton O'Callaghan. Ryan Constable had to put in the big hit. There goes Murray, the prop forward. O'Driscoll John is there too, a bit of stamping by Donogh O'Callaghan. Play on, says the referee, and Dungannon, thanks to Nigel Brady, have stolen that one.
I think over here Alan Lewis actually identified a bit of foul play. I think Alan Roland's coming over. I think Ryan Constable there was in the receiving end of a few slaps and a few stompings, etc. like that. I think he came back to get a wee bit of retribution.
Yes, confirmation, number 8 white, unnecessary use of the boot. Donogh O'Callaghan, well that is completely unnecessary, into unprotected ribs and unprotected thigh, and that should be a sin bin, I'm quite sure.
Next time, cards. Okay. Penalty against you.
Well, he hasn't sin binned them, but I think he said next time, and whether he means a sin bin or the red card. Willie Anderson down below us hasn't made a substitute as yet.
Yes, in the tackle situation, you get them to move away. Next time, it's yellow cards. Yes.
And Paddy Johns has been told to tell his side that they're slowing down the release of the ball in a tackle situation, and next time it happens, a Dungannon man will get a yellow card. Well, it's all happening. A certain element of urgency and a little bit of indiscipline in the Constitution play. Dungannon are warming up away down below us to our left. The formidable presence of former Malone skipper and Ulster prop Richard Mackey, along with Andy Hughes. That's a penalty. Holding down on Tony McWhirter. And David Humphreys already has divested himself of the headgear and will step up to do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I think this could be a very good 3 points and just going to ease the pressure slightly. Dungannon had to receive a bit of punishment there from the Cork Con tied 8. I think what you're going to see here is Richard Mackey coming on for Gary Leslie, and Andy Hughes is actually going on for Michael Haslett.
Well, Tony McWhirter, who's had a very good season with Ulster and more recently with Dungannon. And once again, it's David Humphreys. I think he's pushed that one a wee bit on the wide side. That's the first kick he's missed this afternoon. So David Humphreys misses for the first time. And the scoreline with 16 and a half minutes of the second half played stays at Dungannon 29 and Cork Constitution 9.
I think what it does to him, it actually keeps the pressure on the Cork Con boys inside their own 22. They still have to get out of their own half here.
Conor Mahoney to restart. Clever little kick. Once again Dungannon unable to gather it. This is away comes Constitution, and there was a little knock forward there by Craig Taylor, who's played for the Australian Barbarians and Queensland and New South Wales County, and for a side called the Gold Coast Breakers.
Crouch and hold. Wait, hold, engage. Left. Okay, I'm good to go. Yeah, go ahead.
Solid Dungannon scrummage. Good control by McWhirter. Bell. Humphreys again. Jan Cunningham has come in. Brother Bryn is there too. Nice switch. Michael Hazlett there quickly. Constitution have turned Bryn Cunningham the wrong way, and that was unfortunate. Michael Hazlett had come in. Number 7 dived straight in. That was Michael Hazlett, and not for not releasing on the part of Cunningham. Lovely sweet strike by Brian Walsh.
I think the problem there, Jim, was that the Dungannon backline were trying a strike move. Bryn Cunningham just didn't come in at pace. He sort of came in laboured, ball was head up, and Michael Hazlett dived in.
Off the line! Off the line!
Constitution have reduced the line out to 5 men. O'Callaghan, both of them at the back. Well taken though by Aidan Kearney. What a steal that was by the former UCD player, one of Ulster's contracted players for next season. Dungannon need to get it away. This is great hard hitting by Constitution. Well, that's come back on the Constitution side. Knocked forward by Nigel Brady, and Constitution will get the scrum. Terrific steal by Aidan Kearney though.
It was a tremendous piece of play by Aidan, but the problem was it wasn't used. They slowed it down, and then lack of concentration. Somebody else was taking the ball and then knocked it on. They've just given an advantage straight back to Cork Con.
Well, we've still about 21 and a half minutes to go, and 20 points the difference between the sides. Constitution will certainly mount a huge effort in the final quarter. O'Mara Conor Mahoney. This is Keane. This is Kelly. Slung it rather aimlessly. Nick Kennelly comes in from the left wing, the replacement. Laid back once again by Constitution. O'Mara. Conor Mahoney. Support from O'Driscoll.
He's knocked it on!
Dungannon are there in numbers. Referees played advantage. Stephen Bell. Good chance if they can shift this. Humphreys. Constable. Bryn Cunningham. Constable. Tyrone Howe. Coordination just not there. A little bit of hesitancy. Indecision as to what to do. Chance now for Constitution to regroup. Away comes Ultan O'Callaghan. Hugely strong man. O'Mara. Mrs. Walsh. That's a bit sloppy. Taylor in the middle of the park. Good tackle by Paddy Johns and by Ali Boyd. In fact, it was McWhirter who helped. Brian Walsh. Ryan Constable and Humphreys with the tackle. O'Mara. Frankie Sheehan. Humphreys again putting in the tackle. O'Mara. Cian Mahoney. Ultan O'Callaghan. Dennis O'Dowd. Good solid Dungannon defence. Not much in the way of options out wide for Constitution. Walsh has to put it inside to Kelly. Into the Dungannon half. This is Murray. We haven't seen too much of him. John O'Driscoll, the prop. Sheehan takes it on again. They're all crowded up in this little space in the narrow side. Wonderful tackle by Tyrone Howe, as always. Constitution retained possession. Ultan O'Callaghan. Brian O'Mara. Misdirected kick. Now that could bounce handily for Jan Cunningham. Hasn't quite, but he's put in a good tackle. He's got to let the man go, and the man has got to play the ball, and Dungannon get the put into the scrummage. What a great piece of organised Dungannon defence.
It was great defence, but it was absolutely boring rugby, Jim. I mean, you could have thrown a blanket, a 5 metre blanket round at least, with 25 guys in the pitch there. They just pick and drive. It's very effective rugby, but it is not entertaining.
Well, the redoubtable Gary Leslie is coming off, a European Cup winner on this pitch with Ulster a couple of seasons ago. Michael Hazlitt, the Cambridge University skipper of this year, is coming off, and on comes Richard Mackey, the former Malone skipper and Ulster prop forward, and Andy Hughes, who's the Irish under-21 international. So Willie Anderson has left it until 3/4 of the way through this game to make his first substitutions.
Yeah, I see it. Crouch.
Andy Hughes will add a bit of a zip about the pace, and Richard Mackey certainly will add a bit of bulk in the scrummage.
Yeah, I mean, Richard's actually trimmed himself down this season. He's done a lot of work on his fitness, but he's a very immensely strong man. You say for Andy Hughes, he's very, very quick across the ground, very similar to Nigel Carr and Desmond Bragg.
Johnny Bell finds half a gap. Jan Cunningham carries it on. Mackey there very quickly. Stephen Bell. Tony McWhirter takes 2-3 men to bring him down. Nice head of steam being built up by Dungannon. Humphreys back inside the Constable. Tyrone Howe does a bit of scattering. Stephen Bell. Humphreys again. McWhirter's popping up just about everywhere. Andy Hughes in with the tackle. Stephen Bell. This is a good bit of stretching by Dungannon. Johnny Bell. Humphreys, that's lovely. Lovely little sleight of hand, and the pass didn't quite go to Jan Cunningham. But Dungannon, when they do turn this on, it is delightful to watch.
It is. It's very, very good. And Tony McWhirter has been absolutely immense in this quarter. He's actually suffering for it again. He's still got a very sore rib injury from earlier on.
Well, it was McWhirter who set it up, and Stephen Bell's service to Humphreys has been outstanding all afternoon. That lovely little flip from Bell to Humphreys, and the pass didn't quite make it. Frankie Sheehan. Good challenging by Dungannon at the line out. O'Mara gets it away. Conor Mahoney. Cian Mahoney. Oh, Cian Mahoney's got through. This is a great chance. Murray's in support. Well, there was nobody there quickly enough. Good tackle, and Constable's come away with it. Now Tyrone Howe. Well, that's found Brian Walsh. Dungannon need to get men across the far side. Walsh has a go. Well taken down. Murray, the prop, lays it off. John Kelly, the skipper. David Humphreys, Stephen Bell. He's got a nice flight on that. This is Dennis O'Dowd, who's come across to the right wing. And that little delay has allowed Dungannon to close him down. Constable with the tackle. In quickly goes Andy Hughes. Penalty against Dungannon. Hand in the scrum in that tackle situation. Tony McWhirter's got himself hurt. not for the first time this afternoon. He's really laying that body of his on the line for his club.
He is indeed, Jim. I think what we're seeing here is I think the heat's having an effect on a lot of the players here. There's a lot of tired players. There's tired tackles going in. There's tired support play. And this is this time of the game when it's actually going to start opening up. And it's where the flair players of Dungannon may come to the fore.
Well, it is very, very humid here at Lansdowne Road. And it wasn't all that long ago that if you wanted to play rugby after the 1st of May, you had to get special dispensation from the IRFU to do that. And they weren't always forthcoming for this sort of an occasion, but what an occasion this has been here today. Dungannon with that time on their side and points on their side, leading by 20 points. Well taken at the front by Constitution. Frankie Sheehan, big hit by Fitzpatrick. O'Gara, Conor Mahoney, Cian Mahoney. David Humphreys has done some wonderful tackling. This Ultan O'Callaghan tries to accelerate. He's so strong, gets past 3 would-be tacklers. O'Gara has to dig it out himself. Referee's given the penalty.
Come here.
And that might be a sin bin offence, because he said that he was going to send anybody who was slowing it down deliberately off.
Whoever does it is in the bin. 10 yards.
Well, that's the second warning. He did warn them before, and really, strictly speaking, he should have sin bin somebody. Constitution take it quickly. Brian O'Gara has to go in. Frank Sheehan.
He was in.
Constitution a little bit bereft of ideas. Mahoney with the chip. Tyrone Howe with the cover and the catch.
Must be out 5. Must be 5.
Jim, I think what we've got here, Tony McWhirter is actually carrying a shoulder injury now. He's been putting his body, as you said, on the line, with big hits, etc., picking and carrying. He's now actually feeling the effects of it.
Well, Dungannon have the more than useful Keith Walker
Watch your feet.
waiting on the bench.
Do you want a penalty?
Tyrone Howe has found his touch, but because it was a free kick and not a penalty, it means the throw is going to go to Constitution. Willie Anderson glances at the watch. Mine tells me we have about 14 minutes remaining. O'Driscoll comes up to the front for Constitution. Donagh O'Callaghan takes. Well struck by Paddy Johns. Taylor had come on an inside run. Mahoney set it up nicely for brother Keane. And that's knocked forward.
Again, Jimmy, what Cork Con are doing, they're just playing off number 10, they're going down that channel hit, and it's just so easy to defend against. You put in the big hit, you dislodge the ball.
Got the ball.
Easy
Crouch
possession.
and hold.
And Conor Mahoney is not really, to be fair to him, posing the sort of threat that we might have expected from Ronan O'Gara. But as Noel Murphy said at half-time,
Far side.
that's the way it is. You have to play with what you've got.
And indeed, Dungannon have to play against what's out there in the park. And I mean, they're playing well within themselves.
Dungannon have moved Justin Fitzpatrick from loose head to tight head, with Richard Mackey occupying this side of the scrum. Good Constitution scrummage, and the battered Tony McWhirter takes it on.
Hold it. You can go.
And Constitution have been awarded the penalty.
I don't need all the help.
You have to say there, Jim, I mean, the scrum is wheeling and turning. You do not pick up and you go into the opposition back row. They should have come down this channel, down the touchline closest to us.
Well, Brian O'Gara has been told by, I suspect, Ultan O'Callaghan, who's taken on the mantle of captaincy, to go for the post to try to close this gap. But time is not on the side of the team that won the very first All-Ireland League some 11 seasons ago.
Next one's in the bin.
Dungannon need to be very careful, because the referee Alain Roland is making sin bin noises. Dungannon 29, Cork Constitution 12, about 12 minutes of this game remaining. Brian O'Gara with his third penalty of the afternoon to add to the opening drop goal after the very first minute of this final by Conor Mahoney. But in between, Dungannon have amassed 29 points, and 19 of them from David Humphreys.
I think the Dungannon front are going to have to be very, very wary, because what they're doing is they're something very cynical play of just slowing the ball down. They lose somebody for 10 minutes, especially now with Ultan O'Callaghan on the park. They make it very interesting last 10-15 minutes.
Well taken by Frankie Sheehan. Runs into Ali Boyd. O'Gara, Conor Mahoney. Good tackle was by Brady. Ian Murray takes it on. Paddy Johns puts in the thump. Ultan O'Callaghan has let it go forward. Referees played good advantage. Nicely scooped up Richard Mackey. Not too subtle, but very effective. Well away by Stephen Bell. Now Humphreys. Johnny Bell. Referee has played all the advantage. He's going to in Dungannon's favour. Stephen Bell, Richard Mackey.
Advantage!
Conor Mahoney. This is Taylor.
Away!
Frankie Sheehan goes in with the feet, but quite legally. Ultan O'Callaghan. Well laid back by the Con skipper. O'Mara, Frankie Sheehan out wide. All Dungannon have to do is keep lining up and keep tackling. Here comes O'Mara, now Taylor again, looking to get past that first line of defence. Well snapped up by Justin Fitzpatrick, cleverly done. Stephen Bell, Humphreys. Now this is interesting. Tyrone Howe, chip and chase against O'Dowd. Never materialised.
No, but it was the clever thing to do. Humph realising that there was just nobody outside, just put the ball in, turn them round. I think what we can see there is that Frankie Sheehan is now getting a wee bit frustrated. He's now using his feet in situations, and Alan told him to be very, very careful. He'll be in the bin as well.
Well, David Humphreys, faced with a 4-2 situation against him, did just the right thing and put in the clever kick for Tyrone Howe to chase and pressurise Sheehan. O'Driscoll takes it nicely. O'Callaghan provides the support. And here comes Ultan O'Callaghan, great tackle by McWhirter. This is John O'Driscoll, the prop. Brian O'Mara, Conor Mahoney back inside to Taylor. Ali Boyd with a fine tackle, man and ball. Nicely released. Conor Mahoney, Cian Mahoney, Johnny Bell. Andy Hughes there quickly. Brian Walsh sets it up. Chance now for Constitution. Mahoney caught in two minds. Great support play by Frankie Sheehan. That was Kelly. Ultan O'Callaghan. Kelly tries to get it away. Play on, says the referee. O'Dowd sets it up for Murray. Tries to run outside Johnny Bell, who's having none of it. And it was Tyrone Howe's foot pushed it into touch. Not too much in the way of ideas from Constitution at this stage.
No, a lot of endeavour, Jim, but not very much production from it. Okay, they may have got 15-20 metres, but all it's doing is just taking down the clock. 10 minutes left, 17 points in it. Don't be very happy, just let them run at them, And Jonathan's a wee bit of discomfort there, but he'll not come off, not at this stage.
Well, we've got under 10 minutes to go. Dungannon leading by 29 points to 12. It has been a terrific year for Dungannon. They got the Coach of the Year in Willie Anderson, Player of the Year in Tyrone Howe, PRO of the Year in Terry Jackson, who's done such a good job behind the scenes. And are they going to lift the ultimate accolade and win the league title? It looks very much like it at this stage. Ultan and Donica O'Callaghan may think otherwise. Rob McGrath has come on as replacement prop for Constitution. Dennis O'Dowd was snaffled up on the far side. Conor Mahoney has to go in. This is Brian O'Mara. Cian Mahoney into Fitzpatrick and McWhirter, two Ulster European Cup winning heroes of a couple of seasons ago. O'Mara, John Kelly. Andy Hughes stands four square and meets him. That's a penalty. And already Ultan O'Callaghan is saying that he wants it down in the corner. About 8 minutes remaining.
A wee bit of professionalism there from Paddy, just trying to scoop the ball back on the floor. I think there's some lack of fluidity in the Cork Con handling in their backs, especially. I mean, they're throwing big passes, but they're not going to hand.
So time ticking away in favour of Dungannon. Underneath us, Willie Anderson is warming up. Another replacement, and it's Alistair Clark, who should have been celebrating his bachelor or stag weekend this weekend. I suspect if things go according to plan, there'll be a double celebration. This is McGrath, the replacement prop, who's made a good bit of ground. Good tackling by the dominion of Andrew Hughes, well snapped up by Dungannon. Boyd might just have given that a little bit earlier, but he's laid it off nicely. Well positioned by Humphreys. One almighty thump he's given it. Ryan Constable and Tyrone Howe are closing down Walsh and O'Dowd. This is Walsh, this is O'Dowd. That was Hughes with the tackle. Well laid off by O'Dowd. Dungannon will be quite happy for Constitution to play it here. Why they're slowing it down, we just don't know. That's come away. Great chance for Dungannon. Bell has got Jan Cunningham. Cunningham could get his 11th try of the season. Has he got the pace over Mahoney? Mahoney tries to get to him. Good covering by O'Mara. Great tackle by Stephen Bell. And Jan Cunningham very nearly put the cap on the whole thing. And, well, the gallant Johnny Bell is down injured. He doesn't want to leave the field, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was tremendous cover and tackle by Conor Mahoney. I would have backed Jan to take that on, but I say, here we go, he just tries to line him up on the inside, take on the outside, but Conor has the angle on him.
Wonderful backing up though by Stephen Bell, who's probably in this his last game, certainly for this season. For Dungannon, has without a doubt had his best game in the blue and white stripes. He's got his pass right in this latter half of the season in terms of the league campaign. And Alistair Clark, and we must congratulate him on his forthcoming marriage to the lovely Claire, is coming on for Johnny Bell.
Yeah, Jonathan actually does look like he's in a lot of pain at the present moment. I mean, Alistair Clark will not weaken this Dungannon backline. He's a very strong player, and he'll just work quite well off David Humphreys.
Well, man of the match in the European Cup final a couple of seasons ago, and certainly wouldn't be too far away, Jonathan Bell, from getting that accolade today.
5 yards to mark, please.
John Fogarty coming on for Constitution, who can play either as a hooker or in this case in the back row. Dungannon have won that cleanly. Constitution putting on the pressure. Last flourish perhaps for Willie Anderson's men, just to do it in a bit of style. Good driving, they're only 2-3 metres away. This is wonderful stuff by Dungannon. Have they got the pressure? They have indeed, and that is Dungannon's third try, and that is magnificent stuff. And it's Alistair Boyd who's underneath it all. He had a little bit of help from his friends, and the blindside flank forward has got his second try of this competition, and Dungannon's third in this final. And it was a great forward effort against a renowned forward pack. Terrific control all the way through. Wonderful technical performance by the pack. Great finish, and Ali Boyd was right there.
And that just seals it. That just puts the cap on the whole performance. As you said, to outdo a pack that big with a catch and drive line out, it's totally demoralising for Cork Con. They know the game's over, and with possibly 6 minutes left, 6-7 minutes left, maybe we'll get another couple of scores in from the Dungannon boys.
Well, I think Willie Anderson is going to bring on just about everybody. Aidan Kearney's coming off. Keith Walker's going on. Willie Anderson gives Simon Elkinson a big hug. Brady's coming off. Stephen Bell's coming off. Ralph Mercer's coming on. Willie Anderson is giving everybody a run because his side are 22 points to the good with about 3 minutes of normal playing time remaining. David Humphreys from the touchline. Oh, well, that just is the icing and the cherry on the cake from this most accomplished player. He's had a wonderful season. What a scoreline, 36 points to 12, and Dungannon, well, you've got to say now, Morris, worthy winners.
Totally. I mean, they were the two best teams that were coming into this at the end of the competition, but with the foot and mouth crisis, etc., Dungannon have come back, refocused all their energies, etc., and are the well-deserved winners of this whole tournament.
Well, Humphreys has kicked that magnificently. He's scored 21 points now in this final. Ralph Mercer, the student at Queen's University, and Humphreys. Bryn Cunningham had to check a little bit, and away goes, accelerating. That's nicely done. Good support from Humphreys. Not often he plays a flank forwards role. Mercer, Tony McWhirter, who has been industry itself all afternoon. Mercer again. Justin Fitzpatrick, another real hero in blue and white. Great finish by Dungannon. Here comes Rand Constable. Sets it off to Jan Cunningham. That's popped up very handily for Dungannon. I don't believe this. This is wonderful stuff by Dungannon. Terrific support from Constable. Couldn't quite get the pass away, and Dungannon so very nearly finished it off in even more style. And there's been a penalty given. I think Constitution throwing that ball deliberately into touch. It looked like from here.
I think what actually happened was Brown O'Mara deliberately punched the ball into touch, and Alan, being a scrum half himself, realised what he had done. But I mean, the Dungannon boys are just having fun now. It's the way they've played for their last 5, 6, 7 games this season, and it's the way they should have been playing all year.
Well, a brief stoppage to one of the Constitution players. But David Humphreys has the penalty. We've got about the best part of 2 minutes of normal playing time to go. Down below us, Willie Anderson is shaking hands with every single member of his, well, terrific squad. Big hugs all round from Big Willie. David Humphreys with 21 points to make it 24. And he's done just that. A tour de force by Ulster's skipper for his club Dungannon this afternoon. It's now Dungannon 39 and Cork Constitution 12, and this is as comprehensive a victory as you'll see. When they played in the league earlier on in the season, it was 22-16 to Dungannon. Humphreys getting 17 of the points, and he's just about doubled that this afternoon.
When you have a guy in their team like this, there's just no answer to it. I mean, it's absolutely immense, and some would say, very unfortunate not to have been considered for the British Lions, and I would agree with that.
Mahoney, Cian Mahoney, John Kelly. Well, Humphreys tackling as well as everything else. Conor Mahoney, Cian Mahoney again. Brian Walsh, Constitution looking for a try that might just give them a little bit of heart. Brian O'Mara, who certainly worked hard. Constable, lovely offload to Tyrone Howe. Here goes Howe, kick and chase. He was half impeded. It's still there for Howe. Howe looking for try number 10 for the season. The drive, the control, the dive, the try, the finish, the exuberance.
If one guy deserves it, Tyrone Howe has been absolutely immense all season, and that is just a word for a guy that has come back from serious injury, and he is a totally true professional.
Well, this was extraordinary. The ball went loose. Wonderful sleight of hand by Constable. Howe, in the blink of an eye, decided to transfer the ball from hand to foot. It was all about control. It was all about composure. It was all about finish, and he had all of them in abundance. Constable again set the whole thing up. What a season Tyrone Howe has had. His 11th try in 11 games in this league competition, and the best of all. And David Humphreys, needless to say, does him the honour of adding the points. What a finish by Dungannon. 16-9 to them at half-time. 46-12. What a final. Willie Anderson, Davy Hazlett, Terry Annesley, Alan Clark. Dungannon will be exuberant.
Jim, this is absolutely just awards for a club that had the vision three and a half years ago to set out their stall, to say this is the way we want to go forward, this is the way we want to improve. They set their stall out, they put together a management team, a package, the players, they got their ground, etc., all sorted out, and this is the ultimate. They said 3 years' time we will win the All-Ireland, and this is what they've done.
Well, 2 years ago, Dungannon were celebrating in their own special way, getting promotion to Division 1 of the All-Ireland League. Last year they had to settle for a mid-table place, but this year they have, exceeded everybody's expectations, except, I suspect, their own.
Indeed, I mean, they set the foundations in Division 2. They set the foundations in Division 2. They've brought in Paddy's come home. They got Ryan Constable, and it's a tremendous day for the club.
Well, welcome back here to the studio, a little bit more abruptly than we expected. We'll be back to those celebrations very shortly. Here with me in the studio, Jimmy Davison and Stanley McDowell. I'll be pretty blunt about this, Jimmy. Cork Constitution stuffed this afternoon by an Ulster team.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's pleasant. Nobody wishes to gloat, but that was a very comprehensive victory by a Dungannon side that eventually put itself together. And unfortunately, Cork Con tried to do what Dungannon did in the first half. They tried to play with their own 22, and then they made these unforced errors, and Dungannon then just capitalised on them. A great victory. I think Maurice Field has summed it up perfectly. He's talked really about the organisation, the structure, the planning that's gone into this, and this is the fruition.
What a day, not only for Dungannon but for Ulster Rugby, Stanley.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm delighted for the players. They'll be over the moon, and Willie in tears there at the end. It means so much to him, because he is Dungannon, and he's the heart and soul of the club, and has been for many, many years. I'm delighted for them all, and they thoroughly deserved it. The second half performance was outstanding. McWhirter, Humphreys, top drawer. I would have to give it to McWhirter, probably man of the match, but either of them were out of the top drawer.
Yes, I mean, if we wondered what it actually meant to Dungannon, just look at big Willie Anderson, end of the game, floods of tears from the big man.
Yes, yeah. He's a very emotional individual, but there are so many people who are really not mentioned, who've just been working in the background for the last 3 years, and this really is a tribute to all of them.
And none more proud this afternoon, no doubt, than the Dungannon captain, Paddy Johns. He's with Mark Sidebottom.
Indeed he is, Stephen. Paddy Johns. It's now Paddy Johns, history maker, the first Ulster side ever to have done it. How does it feel?
Very proud moment for me, for all the people who've come down, for all of Dungannon to run on Ulster.
It didn't happen in the first half, but it sure did in the second.
No, we stuck at it. We knew it was going to be a very hard game, and very proud of the lads the way they kept going.
Cork Con, they really didn't put it up to you the way we may have anticipated. In that respect, they just didn't get going, and perhaps that's credit to Dungannon. You didn't allow them.
Well, I don't know about that. I thought they kept going to the very end, and gave us very little. We capitalised on their mistakes and took our chances.
Just what form will the celebrations now take, Paddy?
I think we'll be celebrating tonight until the early hours. Well, our plans are we are staying in Lansdowne until 7 o'clock, and then we're getting the bus together back up to the Dungannon Rugby Club. So anybody out there who wants to come down and join us, they're welcome.
And I know that you're keen to get your hands on a cup. You can go back to the celebrations for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well.
Well, back here in the studio, Jimmy Davison and Stanley McDowell. Will you be taking up that invitation tonight to go down to Dungannon, celebrate with the lads?
Oh dear, I'm not allowed to drink and drive. It will be.
But it's been a tremendous day, hasn't it?
Yeah, knowing the way. Dungannon are a very hospitable club. They are well renowned throughout the whole of the country for the hospitality they show to others. And I'm certain tonight now that the celebrations will be long and they will be hard and they will be well justified.
Yes, thoroughly deserved. And I must say, we saw a clip of David Humphreys there, and he really was inspirational for Dungannon today.
He was. I think in the second half he started putting the ball in behind the Cork Constitution backline and relieving pressure and putting it back on to Cork Con, who really didn't get it together in the second half and couldn't respond. And earlier on, Dungannon capitalised mistakes, but...
Well, the man we've all been wanting to hear from, the Dungannon coach, Willie Anderson's with Mark.
Indeed we can, Stephen. Much hugging, much kissing, and Willie Anderson, a few tears in your eyes a few seconds ago. It means a lot.
A few tears, yeah. This is a very proud day for me. And for these guys here and for this club here, it is just absolutely sensational. There's nothing more than deserve. Best group of players I've ever coached. And this is an emotional day, but we made damn sure it was going to be emotional at the end, not at the start.
Were you nervous after that first half because really you hadn't played to your full potential?
It always takes us a half to get into the swing of things when we're away from home. We knew in the last 20 we could do very well.
It happened in the second half and you must be very proud of them, to a man.
To a man, there isn't one fella who played this year, whether they were on the bench today or who just travelled down. They did this club proud. We didn't lose a match at home all season, and we came from third place today to beat the league leaders. And I must say, this is just the best day, certainly of my life.
All of the accolades that have gone before, this one has superseded them.
Yeah, because it's, you have 20 years or 23 years playing for your club, 6 times as captain. Now you've coached them for a while, and this is fantastic.
You keep talking, perhaps the camera can turn and pick up the guys as they go up, Willie. Now you just sum this up for me, what that means to each of these guys.
Well, this group of players have played for each other this year, and that is the most important factor. 4 months ago, where we're all over the place in terms of, where it was, in terms of, who they're playing for. For Paddy Johns, he's led by example.
Well, let's go up to Jim Neely, our commentator.
Well, it was an emotional day when Lansdowne Road was bedecked with red and white a couple of years ago. Now this most prestigious Irish club trophy will come to Ulster. The blue and white of Dungannon. The Vice President of the Irish Rugby Football Union, a great friend of Dungannon, a great supporter of Dungannon, Mr. Don Crowley, along with representatives of the AIB, and Willie Anderson, well, can scarcely contain himself. Bobby Mills there at the far end of that line, the patron of Dungannon Rugby Football Club, will be the proudest man, and the Dungannon president there as well. The winners' medals being handed out, Johnny Bell and Ryan Kunstler. What a centre combination they have been for Ulster and for Dungannon this year. And what about the player of the year himself, Tyrone Howe, and the man of the match, David Humphreys. 4 internationals right out of the top drawer coming up to receive their winners' medals. David Humphreys, well, the man of the match, with an amazing haul of 26 points in a final which produced 4 tries. Stephen Bell off to Bedford. He will look over his shoulder and think, am I doing the right thing? His decision. Justin Fitzpatrick came from London Irish a couple of seasons ago, won the European Cup with Ulster and has won the All-Ireland League with Dungannon. And Nigel Brady, brought forward, converted to hooker, coached by Alan Clark in the art of line-out throwing. And there's the future for Stevenson Park. And these young men will be flocking next season. A young man who came up from Dublin, the delightful 22-year-old Aidan Kearney. Behind there you can see Brian O'Brien, the Irish team manager of the season, and Eddie O'Sullivan. And the replacements coming up: Alistair Boyd, who scored one of the tries, Michael Hazlett, Tony McWhirter, who's done it all with Ulster. The blue and white of Dungannon being flown proudly here. And there is the veteran. Paddy Johns brings up Alan Clark. After 3 years with Saracens, he came back to his native Ulster, took over the captaincy in the middle of the season when Alan Clark got himself injured, and what a job Paddy Johns has done. Still waiting for that elusive 60th Irish cap, but this will, I'm sure, more than make up for that. He's been a terrific captain as the season has unfolded, and Paddy Johns, and there's his mentor Willie Anderson, and this is the greatest moment in the history of one of Ulster and Ireland's greatest clubs. Well, Willie, delighted being taken off for an interview, no doubt. Don Crowley gives the trophy to Paddy Johns, and Dungannon are the champions. Well, Morris, you worked with these fellas a couple of years ago. You must be immensely proud.
I mean, I did. I helped them, but I can give these guys this talent. They have that talent within that team. I mean, they've worked very, very hard for this. And as I said before, is a vision from Dungannon Rugby Club. They set themselves up the strategy and the plans they wanted, and it's now fulfilled.
Well, they have the song they'll sing in the not too distant future. When Derry was a village and Belfast a little town, we learned the holy rugby in Dungannon.
Well, back here in the studio, amazing scenes down there in Dublin today, Jimmy.
Absolutely tremendous. And they've got a long and a very, very proud history. They were formed before the Irish Rugby Football Union was formed, and now they've really reached the pinnacle. And I'm so delighted for all of them. And I think they've expressed it so well themselves. You know, words by me are meaningless.
Dungannon backs and forwards combined, especially for that superb Jonathan Bell try in the second half.
It was awesome, and it was great to see them, the momentum that they've had to the end of the season, coming through in a cup final, which you so often miss, teams not performing. And the second half, it was just a delight to watch. And as Jimmy's touched on, there's an awful lot more there in the background as far as personnel and a setup that has been striving for this for many, many years. And at the head's Willie, and they all deserve it, and especially him.
And what about the Tyrone High try?
Again, it shows great pace. I mean, it's a turnover again. Cork Con had so many in the second half, but to get away there just so close to touchline, and once he kicked ahead, there was nobody else who was going to catch him in the foot race. Nice little bit of 1-2 with the feet there over the line, and he'll not like that dive when it's replayed to him. But great try, great finisher.
That was the victory. Pretty well sealed. Many people will be saying today, Jimmy, David Humphreys, why isn't he on the Lions tour? Why is he playing there today?
Well, had David Humphreys been selected for the Lions, getting fastball, I'm certain that everybody would have recognised his true talent. But Gregor Townsend didn't make it as well, so there's an awful lot of talent there. David has really played exceptionally well. He's a great. He's put in such great service as far as Ulster rugby is concerned, and it's nice that he can go back into a club setup and contribute in exactly the same way. He really does deserve all the accolades.
And just to sum up for us, Stanley, Ulster rugby today, very, very proud indeed. A bit of history created.
Yes, it happened in '99. Back again, really the final of the All-Ireland League is in its present format, and the Cups in Ulster. Couldn't be more happy.
Okay, thank you very much to you, Stanley, and to Jimmy. That's just about all we have time for on the day that Dungannon went to Dublin and created their own little bit of Ulster rugby history. From all of us here, it's bye-bye.